one of the challenges I had in my classroom when I moved away from grading was promoting this conversation of mastery and then having to put a grade on the report card, which kind of felt contradictory at times because those two paradigms don't really philosophically work together. However, I understand that folks are working inside of systems that require that. So the way that I always got around it was with student led assessment conferences where we would go over their level of mastery, the goals, the things they progressed on, and then we would decide on a grade together. And then that was just the grade that went on the report card. And that was how I could be right with it in my class because I understood it was a part of the system. But I also didn't want students to focus too heavily on that final grade because it kind of undoes all of the work of focusing on the individual ideas that have happened over the course of the year. But you know what? Every school is in different places on the spectrum as they start to make this transition, and it really does make sense as you're moving away from the traditional system to kind of scaffold out some of the older ways as you go along. And, you know, if you have to have conversion charts to make it work for where you are in that transition, I think then, you know, you have to start somewhere.
I'll say that we can't make the progress we seek with revolutionizing assessment and feedback if we can't operate within the systems that exist right now. So it's a much heavier lift for a district to make an entire sweeping policy change of throwing out the GPA or the grades or the valedictorian status or any of that. So what is exciting about working at Mastery Portfolio is that we're constantly talking about how we can do the good work of giving the students actionable feedback and tracking mastery of skills while still making that fit within the constraints of, you know, a given district or school. So for example, we have a school who is still using GPA. And so we've been able to figure out a calculation that will take a student's current mastery and convert it into a 4-point GPA scale. Probably the most important way that the mastery book can impact those final grades or those GPAs that schools might be held to is that whatever that final calculation is that goes on the report card or goes in the student information system, that is a reflection of a student's current mastery. So their mastery rating is never going to be held back by a low score in September, so long as they reassess by the end of the term in December. So a student always has control over their current mastery score, whatever that is, and it's always a reflection of where they are now. So as long as a student masters all the skills in the curriculum by the end of the term, there's no reason they can't have 100 on that final report card grade, because that's where they are right now. And so that ownership or that autonomy that they have over their learning and going back and improving their grades and turning those quote unquote B's or C's into A's is really an important shift and an important empowerment move for students.